Action! You've asked for this. You've begged us.
I don't think anyone said this, but people keep sending us questions about budgets, guys. So we're gonna talk money. Let's talk dollar bills.
All about the money, honey.
This is all about budget. So let's say like you want to spend $500,000 on your renovation. All of that money is not going to go to the construction. There's a lot of other things it needs to go to. So the first thing I would do is take that number and back out the old tax.
The old HST.
In Ontario, that's 13%. So right off the bat, let's get out our calculator. Property of Olivia.
We'll be here for a while.
442. So we've already dropped from 500,000 to 442,000 just by getting rid of the tax. That said, there are some tax rebates that you can get sometimes with HST, but it's not going to get you the full amount back. The next thing we need to back out are fees. So this can really vary depending on who you're hiring, what exactly their scope is. Are they full service? Are they doing consultation, etc.?
Are you that's kind of architect and a designer? Exactly. Who's doing the permit?
Engineer. That's kind of a general way to calculate it. So let's say we're at 442 and then we take out 10% for design fees. We're basically at 400,000 now. Once we're at 400,000 for our construction budget, we have more things we need to deduct. For example, permit fees. Permit fees in the City of Toronto, we typically say 1,500 to 3,000, depending on what you're doing for the permit, plus COA is like another 2,000 to 3,000, depending on what you're doing. So now we gotta take that out of our number. So we keep going down. The next thing we need to deduct from our budget is where are we going to live during the construction? That's a good question. It's really important to consider like a rental as part of your budget because
this is a big renovation, yeah.
It's a big renovation. You're out of there. You're out of there for 6 months, maybe 8 months.
You gotta
maybe
go,
10 months.
Sally.
You gotta go. Get out. So where are you living? So I think it's really important
with your mom.
Oh my
Ooh, for free, maybe? Positive?
That would be nice.
Positive?
If you're living with family, you don't have to pay.
What you're left with is your construction budget. So that's what you can spend on contractors and materials. That's it. And based on my very loose math, we've gone really far down from our original 500,000 budget. We're more in the 350 range at this point. But it's important to be accurate. And if you say to someone, I want to spend $500,000, say that to a contractor, they're thinking that's their budget to work with, and they're not really adding in all those other costs. So it's really important to start with that big number and deduct all those things out until you get down to that number. And then that's really what you're working with on the actual build portion of the project. Are you scared yet? Are you worried you don't have any money? That's not the intention here. You're better off understanding all this and managing accordingly rather than getting involved in the process and then things keep adding up.
And that's the number when you start contacting professionals.
Yes.
To get some real numbers, that's the number that you are going to tell people.
We typically get 2 to 3 quotes for every project. You really want to ask all of the questions and make sure that you understand everything that is included and not included in the quote so that you're able to compare direct.
Don't just go with the cheapest option.
Honestly, pretty much never go with the cheapest option. There is a fantastic expression in the industry. You can have it cheap, fast, or good, but you can only pick 2 out of the 3. Would they choose to have it fast and good, but it's not going to be cheap? Or would they choose to have it
cheap and fast, but
cheap and fast is not going to be good? If it's cheap and fast, please don't hire Dart. That's not, we can't do it. I can't do it. I can't be involved in that. But I do think it's important to consider that in the beginning, what are your goals? And really thinking about that is gonna help you determine that budget and stick to the budget.
Some other professionals that might be involved in your renovation that you haven't thought about, other than a designer and the contractor, are HVAC designer. If it's a large renovation, there will be an engineer involved. What's the word for what are they called? The person that tests. Sometimes if there's water issues.
Oh, yes. Sometimes they have to do soil testing.
Sometimes
it's an engineer. It's a geotechnical engineer.
Yeah.
I think. Sometimes you also need a arborist to do lot plans of your trees. This is a real thing. Yes, guys, I'm not joking.
And none of these things are a huge expense, but I feel like that's where the little 10% contingency comes in, is there will be some professionals that need to be involved if you encounter some of these issues.
I think if you spend a lot of time planning in the beginning, your contingency can be lower.
Yeah.
Because you've done the recon, right? You've got all your numbers for materials. You have a really detailed set of working drawings and scope. You've done the soil testing. All of that stuff is sorted. Your arborist has been paid.
You fenced the trees.
Exactly, tree protection. We're mentioning all these scary terms like structural
Don't get
engineer,
scared.
soil engineer. You don't
get
have to worry about
scared.
those things. And that's honestly why a lot of people work with designers or, a builder who manages a budget, because all of these things are hard to know if you're going in at it for your first time. But I think if you start with that big number, take out the tax, take out fees, take out permitting, somewhere to live, then you're really gonna get down to that nitty gritty of that number, which is what you have to work with on the renovation, and that's a really important number to know.
So this was a depressing video.
This was a depressing video.
And we hope that
I
you
apologize.
still watch our channel.
If you think of any more questions about budget, or hopefully not about budget,
Let's just
comment
stick to
below.
the pretty stuff. We don't want to talk numbers. We're not accountants, okay? We don't want to talk about numbers.
I don't have a finance degree. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
If you liked this depressing video about money, click like, subscribe,
Comment with
notification
the
bell.
money sign below.
Yeah, follow us on the gram.
Bye. Thanks
Bye.
for watching.